Good evening and welcome to Las Vegas Motor Speedway, the site for tonight's Speed Racing Network Recruitment Race number 8, and we have a good one for you here tonight. Thank you for joining us. You missed it, we had a great recruitment race last night. The trucks were on this very track. If you'd like to go replay that, it is available on our YouTube channel for replay, including the previous 6 recruitment races prior to that as well. Go check that out. We have 23 cars starting tonight's event, it looks like. Pretty tightly packed field with a variance of different skill levels. Kind of like what we've seen in all these recruitment races thus far. But the deepest field for sure we've seen, with a lot of returning and familiar faces. We're always happy to see that. Former Speed Racing Network driver Michael Arch has the field in his control. He's going to get us started here with 60 laps here at Las Vegas this evening. Battle up front to start between Daniel Baum and Michael Art, 2 SRN drivers we've seen in the past. Wadler now clears to the lead. He'll be clear by a car length. Lap number 1. This track and car combination pretty racing. These Xfinity cars are a lot of fun to drive, and Vegas offers a wide variety of different lanes you can choose from. Makes for a pretty good show. We are racing during the day in this event, so the tire abrasion is going to be a little bit high, so that's going to create a little bit of strategy and also going to steer these drivers on how they want to turn their cars. We do have an early caution. Looks like it's happening in the back. You see it there right by the start-finish line. Brandon Moody, Anthony Lane involved in that one. See if we can replay, see what happened here. 20 car looks like he's already in trouble, and 81 car just an innocent bystander there, and almost collected one more there with the 7, but looks like he's going to get by just fine. That was Dan Park there in the 7, SRN veteran. Good job avoiding that. Asked to start in the back for this race, and that might have been just the right idea. Didn't even get another view of this. I don't know what it got him squirrely for that, but obviously an odd place in the racetrack for that to happen. We'll see if we can get one more view. Maybe back it up a little bit here. Oh, maybe, yeah, you see him just get real squirrely on corner exit. You see the 52 go around in the back there too, but no harm, no foul. And yeah, the 81, Anthony Lane, just an innocent bystander there. One thing these guys do have tonight that they don't normally have is one fast repair in the pit lane. So what you'll see is this 20 car is going to come down pit road here, hit his pit box, and that car is instantly going to just look brand new again, and that's what iRacing calls a fast repair. Basically gives you a brand new race car. Boom, there it is. Saw that right there. Something we don't normally run during our season, but in these recruitment races, you know, they're more about having a good time and welcoming new drivers into our series. And so we offer that to them to keep racing in this event rather than just be done early. But you also have to use that strategically, right? There could be bigger damage later in the race that you kind of wish you had that at your disposal, and you might not have it anymore. So a couple cars came down pit road there. Obviously, the two involved in that incident definitely were. It looks like Dan Park came down pit road as well. Connor Drysdale came down pit road. Dale Rapp as well. A couple other guys come down pit road here. One other thing to note is they also have 2 sets of tires to use over the course of these 60 laps. They only have to stop once for fuel. But with a large amount of tire degradation that you'll see in this event, they might want to take those tires more sparingly, I guess, to start the race, so they know they have a set if they need it later. So that'll be something to keep an eye on. Looks like we still got another lap to go here before we get back under green. So we'll send you off to hear a little bit about one of our newest partners here at Speed Racing Network. We would like to thank Premier Racing Setups for joining us for Season 7. They will be in the right top corner of your screen all season long. They're the longest running setup shop on iRacing. They offer many different options to help take your sim racing career to the highest levels. With over 50,000 customers worldwide, they have the tools you need to compete with the best sim racers on the service. You can use code SpeedRacingNetwork15 to save 15% on any order from their website. You can also follow them on their multiple social platforms to stay up to date on the fun stuff they're doing and what some of their factory drivers are up to. The Premier Racing Setups, one of our newest partners here at Speed Racing Network, and we're super thankful for them. In a little bit also, you get to hear from the title sponsor of our upcoming Xfinity Series, which is the Thermo Pro Series on Speed Racing Network. We'll get to see a little message from them later, and we'll also tell you a little bit more about what they do. And then on the bottom left corner of your screen all season long will be Admin Box. They're the official race control partner of Speed Racing Network. Admin Box is built by iRacers for iRacers to make race control as easy as possible. Each Admin Box connects via USB and features pre-programmed controls to make anybody able to do race control. LED backlighting makes it easy to see the buttons in any situation. You can do SRN-Box, BOXX, to save 10% on your next Admin Box order. Some fantastic partners that help us do what we do on a weekly basis. We'd like to thank them. Also, thank you for bearing with me tonight here solo in the booth, also battling a little illness. So I know I don't sound the best, but I'm going to give you a show either way. So we want to make sure that happens. Looks like we're going to re-rack them here. Everybody's starting to get doubled up and in line. We'll restart this event with 54 laps remaining. 6 will be complete. Landon Velke is your leader. Daniel Bodler fell down to second. And then your pole sitter, Michael Lart, in third. A couple names that are familiar to SRN in the past. You'll see there on the scoring pylon. We'll highlight a little bit more through the field as we can this evening. Get closer to the conclusion of this event. But the pace car is going to dive away. Landon will have the field in his hands, and we'll get back going here. 54 laps remaining. Good battle up front between the 62 and the 18, or 19 as it's listed on the scoring pylon. Staying toe-to-toe. third place sticking his nose in there. They're going to be almost 3 wide for second. They think better of it. Bodler loose off the corner. Keeps it out of any incident there. We got this 4-way battle here for the top spot. Jackson Connell making his way through. That's that car on the bottom who's going to assume the lead here. In that island, like in number 39. Clear to the lead goes Jackson Connell. Battle's now on for second. And we have a caution in the back once again. Looks like one car by himself. The 77 is around off of turn number 2. Take a look here, and it looks to just be a solo spin. Nobody else involved. That's the best case scenario when we talk about having a caution. That's ideally what we see. We just get loose in the middle of the corner and just never able to gather that thing back up. Really good job by everybody behind him, just being aware of what's going on, and even a better job by Robert there in the 77 to do the smart thing and keep that car on the apron, lock it up, live to fight another day, but not roll back up in traffic like we often see. So unfortunate for a spin there, but avoided major incident for sure. He did a really good job by that car that was behind him, and I think that was the 24, Connor Clydesdale. It just missed him, but good heads-up piece of driving. And no harm, no foul on that. While we have the chance, we'll give you a little message from our series title sponsor for this upcoming series.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back in action here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. There's a couple messages there. The first was from iRacing, this platform that we race on that provides us the opportunity to make this happen. That's the logo you'll see in the bottom right hand of your screen all season long. Can't do it without their platform and all the hard work they put into making this one of the best racing simulation products out there. And then the second message was from our series sponsor, this upcoming series, Thermo Pro. They've been with us for a couple of years now. But Thermo, they produce the best wireless meat thermometers and digital hydrometers for household use. They also supply some of the largest brands with the parts that you see on the market today, working behind the scenes to manufacture to providing consumers top-level products at a competitive price without sacrificing functionality or quality. You can use code ThermoProTeam, that's ThermoProTeam altogether, all caps, for 15% off your next order. Their instant read thermometers are, in my opinion, one of the best products on the market for anybody that's serious about barbecue or grilling in their household. So definitely check them out. Links to any of our partners are available on speedracingnetwork.com/partners if you'd like to lead a little bit more about any of them or find the list of coupon codes in which we have for them. You can find all that there. And if you're interested in becoming a partner of Speed Racing Network, that's always an option for your business as well. We'd love to help you grow your business with us. You can get in touch with us at speedracingnetwork.com as well. Let's kind of reset things for you here. We've had 2 cautions. We're coming back to have 47 laps to go. We'll flash that scoring pylon there back on the left for you, kind of see where everything shakes out. We had 23 cars start this event. It looks like we have 22 still on track, and everybody now back on the lead lap. The 20th Bryson Moody, the lucky dog recipient of this caution, was 1 lap down. So that'll bring everybody back to an even playing field as far as lap count. I believe everybody is well damaged, fixed, and repaired. The single card spin will not hurt the 77. However, he's decided to retire from this event anyway. But he is no longer on the racetrack, so that leaves us the rest of these 22 drivers. We've got the pace car lights off, which means we're going to get the green flag this time by, and we'll have 47 laps left. A couple things to note: the 7:21:62:81 came down pit road that time, so that's 20th or 18th on back came down pit road. So we'll have to keep an eye on how that makes shake out. If they're playing a little bit of fuel strategy early, I think they're right on the edge of that window. So see how that works out for them. Pace car's going to pull away. Jackson Connell has the field in his hands, and we're going to get restarted here with 47 laps to go. Great jump by the 39. He jumps out to a nice lead. The rest of the pack's really stacked up. We're kind of looking towards the middle right now. We're kind of just a gaggle. First couple of guys have started to string themselves in a single file line. And here's where you really get to see the effects of Las Vegas. We got one on the apron there. Michael Larkin looks like he got some contact in the corner. Does a great job of keeping that car gathered up. So we're going to stay green. Got a couple guys together. Everybody stole a straight line. A couple cars got on the apron, but no harm, no foul. Now you see the car getting sideways like you saw earlier. Oh, and he's going to go around and collect a couple with him. We're going to have a couple things to go back and look at for sure here. Looks like we're still having some incidents here. We'll start from the beginning here and look at what happened to Austin DeLong. He was one of the first ones I said got a little sideways. Like this was a stack up on the start. So that's where we saw his contact from. And then we saw the 2-car get sideways here on the front stretch. He just gets blocked to the grass. Not sure who that was that blocked into the grass, but watch this job of driving right here. This is a lot harder than it looks, but he keeps that thing under control and out of the racing circuit. Fantastic piece of driving right there. So it looks like we're all good. And then Derek Sellers, he's the one that we saw blocked to the bottom. So then we go Bryson Moody, and this is where we saw him get sideways and collect a couple cars with him. 23. Hard to tell what that other car was there, the 21. Walked in that. Well, you see, he's already taken his fast repair. Car, but fortunate incident there. Dan Park, great job in the 7 there, avoiding that. Has to take evasive action through the grass, but that's a lot better than the alternative for sure. And Anthony Lane as well. Got an incident point there, but I think that's just, yeah, just from avoiding it and going through the grass. Great job there. Avoiding the incident. If we can go back here and watch the avoidance here that Dan Park had on that. This is actually with the 20 on board. See him just get loose. We saw it last night. In these corners, sometimes these cars can get hooked together and just causes issues, fortunately. Just part of it. And hit it cleanly by that point. We'll see if we can find that later for you guys. Looks like Dan's going to come back down pit road here. We've seen him almost hit every caution, so I don't know if it's some kind of fuel strategy for him or what he's got up his sleeve. I know he likes to play a little bit of strategy. Saw him really fast last night. If you missed last night's event, Brothers Park, Dan and Ben did a really good job in that race. Got caught up in some late incidents that were really nothing to their doing, but that's how it goes sometimes. But showed some really good pace last night. Looks like he just came to top off on fuel, so that might just be an insurance that, hey, if we have a green flag run here, he might be a little bit better off than some of these leaders. Nobody in the top 4 have come down pit road at this point. 8th through 10th has not pitted either. Everybody else has at least one stop in this event. So I know they can make it on fuel from here if you've stopped. If you've not stopped, obviously these caution laps help, but they're not going to give you quite enough. So we'll see how the strategy plays out. Last night we saw kind of a similar event unfold. We had a lot of quick early cautions. Then we had a decent run. And after that decent run, everybody came down pit road. And then it was just kind of short sprints all the way to the end. So we'll see if that rings true. But while we have the chance, we'll run you through a little bit of this field here to see who's in this event and point out some of our drivers that we know. This is not one of them. Somebody new to us, Jackson Connell, out here leading this event, showing really good pace so far. Daniel Bodler here in second, very familiar with him. Did a great job. Talked about Ben Park just a second ago. He finds himself in 3rd place right now, having a really good run. Dylan Godinez, one of our team owners, shows teams in both series, doing a great job there in 4th. Connor Drysdale, one of our guys. Yep. Jesse Calloway over here in 6th place. Dale Rapp here in 7th. Returning driver Austin DeLong for the DG Motorsports team. 8th. Landon Elke, who we saw lead some laps earlier, finds himself back in 9th. 10th. And then just behind that, some really familiar names. Drew Ballesteros ran with Speed Racing Network for quite some time there. A really good driver. Always had good battles with him on track. Is 11th. Connor Cunningham, SRN veteran now in 12th. So there's your top 12 as we get ready to restart it. We'll restart it here with 41 laps remaining. And we'll see if we can settle in here and get a little run going. We kind of saw it last night, few early cautions. Everybody kind of got in a nice little pace. And we had a nice little run, so we'll see if we can do that here. Jackson Connell will have the field like once again in his helm. Pace car will pull away. He'll get us restarted here. 41 laps to go out of 60. Good first couple turns for Jackson Connell. Gets a little loose out of the corner. It's going to allow Daniel Bodler rather to shore up right to his rear bumper. Ben Park is the one that's in tow. There in 4th. Everybody once again just kind of getting in a nice little line going. A little battle a little further back, but definitely probably the most orderly restart we've seen thus far for sure. I say that, they really start battling up here at the back end of the top 5. On the bottom, just kind of trying to buy his time. I know he's a driver who kind of just likes to run a really consistent race without burning stuff up, but when you got guys knocking at your back bumper like he does right now, that's a tall task. So trying to do all he can there, just like he's just trying to hold the bottom. That's the line that's helping the most on avoiding a lot of tire degradation. See, he's in middle, almost the middle 3 wide there, and decides to give him a little bit more space to work with, realizing we're just on lap number 22. So if this does shake out a little bit, and we have Dylan Godinez now clearing the lead, We get a little green flag run here. I'm going to be more interested in what we saw people like Daniel Park do a little further back in the field and top off on that last caution. We know now for sure he can make it to the end. Dylan Medina is now clear to the front and pulling away here by a couple tenths in a second. We saw Dylan last year, the Racing Network, a newcomer to us, did a great job with his team. They've decided to return 2 teams, one to each series again this season. We're glad to have them back. Great group of guys, great group of drivers, a good leader at the helm. We got a 3-wide battle for second. It's shaping up real nice. A little contact there between the 34 and the 39. That's really going to hurt the 39. When the 39 gets a little wall there, gets in the 54. Going to definitely hurt that car, but no cautions. Everybody stays pointed the right direction. And that just started from the 39 running at a racetrack. I don't think the 54 really squeezed him there. I think the 39 ran out of track quicker, which is a product here at Vegas. Those safer barriers stick out there on corner entry and corner exit. I've caught them both ways. They can kind of sneak up on you. That's going to really hurt the pace of that 39 car. You see quite a bit of right side damage, missing that tailpiece as well. The 54 got a good chunk of that as well. Still has his tailpiece, but quite a bit of damage on that right side, including that right rear, which is a pretty important piece of the race car. We'll see how that works out for him. Dylan Gadina is now getting a little bit of heat there. Connor Drysdale in that 34, who we saw miss a wreck earlier, and did a fantastic job with that. Is starting to make a little bit of noise here. We have some cautions in the back, it looks like, or maybe some cars that were getting into it. Ballesteros, big damage on that machine. He's going to just park it on the racetrack. Probably maybe the right thing to do there. Didn't bring out a caution, so all's good in the neighborhood. We'll see what happened there. Meanwhile, we're going to go back to this battle of the weed. It's tightening up. These couple of little micro incidents that didn't bring out a caution did do a pretty good job of spreading the field out a little bit, which is just going to kind of help us make a more of a green flag field. Dan Park up to 10th already. And again, like I said, we saw him top off under that last caution. Know for sure he can make it on fuel. Ballesteros looks like he may have retired from this event. We do not see him on track, but let's see if we can kind of get an idea of what happened here. Riding on board with him. Oh! Definitely get some help there. Yep. That ain't gonna work. Getting into the turn. Raymond Dunkley at 62. We saw lead laps earlier. You know, it's kind of tough to tell there. Corner entry. Obviously, the 62 wants to be down in the corner, but the 54 has the right to run that middle line if he wants. That's just a disagreement over space on the racetrack, unfortunately. Meanwhile, back up front, still dealing with Edith. We also saw yesterday an issue where, and we saw it earlier in this race when I referenced to it, cars in the service here can get stuck together. It's a phenomenon that just is part of racing on a simulation that requires internet. We talk about netcode from time to time. It's a very similar phenomenon, and it happens because internet speeds are different, and sometimes it has to predict contact. Sometimes that predicted contact can stick cars together or stick cars to the wall. We've encountered that in the past as well. And even though you're steering way off them, trying to get away, the cars just stick together. And ultimately, on an oval racetrack like this, it's just going to send everything to the right towards the fence, and that's what we saw right there. The 62 was able to continue on track. He's coming down pit road right now. I'm sure he has his faster car left, and he was going to have to pit regardless. So maybe not the end of the world from him, but if this plays out green, he's definitely going to need a caution, I believe, to get back into it, because we have guys already on the track who can make it to the end. But Dylan's sailing nice and clean up front. Has not made a pit stop today at all, so he's for sure going to have to make one. Daniel Bodler in 4th as well. See him there a little slow on the bottom. I don't know what happened there. Maybe he got a little loose off corner exit. I think it's going to cost him a spot. We're going to continue battling with Ben Park there in the 4th position. That's Connor Cunningham up there in that gray car. Slightly grazes the fence getting out of turn 2. Haven't really talked about him tonight, but he's making something happen back there in the BDR test car, as we call it. The scheme that he ran a little bit last season. It's a NASCAR test car paint scheme with that kind of flat gray look to it. Best battle here is a little further back, just on the backside here of the top 10. It's Michael Lark, Daniel Rapp, Austin DeLong, all battling for that 7th position. Oh, gets into the wall a little bit. I think he might have got some help with that 52 machine. Austin DeLong might have helped Dale Rapp get in the fence a little bit. And I think the 52 checked up off the corner, and then it's just, I gotta go, and you're in the way kind of situation. No incident points were actually recorded on that incident, though. Definitely damage to the 52 for sure. But another guy that I think is going to have to fit regardless, so going to be in the same boat as we see the 62. And pitting does take you a lap down. You know that for sure. So that's going to be part of the situation to watch. Now, it's not impossible to get your lap back with the fall off, but you have to have this run quite a distance, and we only got 26 laps remaining, so little tough ask there. So the 52, again, just like the 62, might need the greater forces that be to help a little bit. And we had the 62 car around. You saw it there flash on the screen. All by himself. Didn't bring out a caution, stayed off the racing surface. But another driver we saw earlier who did a great job leading some laps is finding himself in a little bit of a predicament here. Between the 39 and the 62, a few leaders now have major issues, and he's still struggling to gather that thing up. He might just decide to tow it, and probably the right move there if steering on that machine is beyond repair, which is usually what that looks like. Dylan Godinez doing a fantastic job. Just over a second-and-a-half lead now over Connor Drysdale and Ben Park. Daniel Bodler still hanging around there in 4th. Dylan's kind of having a field day winning the battles right back here. Battle's definitely for 2nd. Bodler kind of just by his time right around here. Starting to see Ben Park now making a nice charge up to the front. Drysdale's kind of been trying to hang in here. Ben really using the momentum on that outside lane. He's going to secure that spot and kind of clear this whole group. We'll see if he's able to get away a little bit and maybe cut into that lead that's now going almost 2 seconds. We're beginning to sort things out a little bit. The battle's a little bit further back. Jesse Calloway back here. See Ben Park got the wall a little bit right there. That's going to bring, looks like the 2, Michael Lark, back into the equation. He's going to get clear in a second. This whole group kind of just bunched back together. This is where you really get to see what makes Las Vegas Motor Speedway, Las Vegas Motor Speedway. All these cars, different lengths to run, different ways to make it happen. You just see how the momentum down the straightaways kind of makes the difference. Kind of helps you decide where you're going to run on the racetrack. See the 34, he's all the way up against the wall. You got 32 paint white line. You got 19 or 18, depending on what you want to look at. Just somewhere near the middle. And lap after lap, these guys are doing a great job. Staying right in the pocket. It's fantastic riding. And this is what we look forward to seeing in this coming season. I think we're going to see quite a bit of it as well. Ooh, a little contact there. Drysdale and Bob keeps it pointed the right way. Fantastic battle. More contact. More contact. A little bit more contact. Well, Bodler might be in trouble now. He's in the grass. Spins it around. He's coming back up on the track. That's going to be a caution. And we kind of saw that whole saga develop. Bodler was either a little upset there with the 34 or something else must have been going on. There's a lot of contact prior to the spin. And this is where you saw the most of it, right down the straightaway. I think it might have been alright, but right here you bring back on the track. That's going to trigger a caution every time. Didn't hit the inside wall though, so avoided big damage. We'll get the strap on for Mr. Feelgoods here. Get right back in this thing, but interesting sequence of events that kind of led to that right there. I just don't know if I'm really understanding what happened there. Dan Park was that 7 car there on the inside, but was giving plenty of space where Bother didn't have to be that far up the racetrack. There might have been something prior that kind of caused that, maybe, is my best guess, but it's tough to tell. And great job by the 18 car right there. That's Dean Gagliano. Does a fantastic job of avoiding that incident. And he kind of saw it unfolding, backs off the throttle. See it right here, that 18 car. Fantastic job. All Butler can do here is try to lock it up and keep it out of traffic and out of both walls. And does just that. Comes back up on the racing surface to trigger the caution, but that's all part of it. On pit road, though, you got everybody, which not too surprising here. That was the longest run we've seen on the tires, and everybody for sure has an extra set in the pits, so they're going to come get them for sure. Keep an eye here on pit exit. See what happens. Remember, the 8, Dylan Godinez, was your leader coming down pit road. And Michael Arch is going to win the race off. So that's going to shuffle things up a little bit. I'll give you a little rundown of the field here once everybody cycles off the pit lane. A lot cleaner pit lane than we saw last night. We had a couple of incidents on pit road last night, but everybody nice and orderly here. Great job. So let's reset it for you. Kind of get you a rundown on what's happening here. Michael Arch has assumed the lead. We saw him up front early. He was our pole sitter. Kind of been hanging around the top 5. He's right back in him. Dylan Godinez, who led a nice little chunk of laps right there, and is right back there in second. Ben Park, who we've just kind of seen methodically make his way up through things today, is right back here in the 3rd position. Connor Cunningham in our favorite little test car is back there in 4th. Connor Drysdale, who we saw involved somewhat, in some capacity at least, into that last caution, is all the way back in 5th. A little bit further back, talk about Dan Park. That strategy, I think, would have worked out real nice for him if that would have went green, but he's still having a good run up in 6th. He's just had pretty good pace. Kind of just avoiding incident and making his way on up there. Jesse Calloway in 7th. Dean Gagliano is in 8th, who we saw that last incident do a great job avoiding calamity. Austin DeLong, who we saw in a little bit of a scuffle earlier, is in 9th. Jaden Henry back in 10th. And then talked about 52 kind of needing that caution, use that fast repair, stay on the lead lap. Well, did just that. He's in 12th with a nice fresh race car, so he's still got a chance. Anthony Lane is back here, who we saw make that nice maneuver through the grass to avoid an incident earlier. And then Landon back here in the 62, we talked about him earlier as well, and you know, he's the one that kind of pitted there under green. Use that fast repair to fix that race car. He got the lucky dog under this last caution, so now he's back on the lead lap, and we know he's got some nice pace in that 62 machine. So I'd watch him to make a nice charge here at the end of this event. Well, we're doubling up, which means we're going to have the green flag next time by. When we get it, we'll have 15 laps remaining in this event out of the 60 that have been originally scheduled. If we need it, we can have 3 attempts at a green-white checker finish. That's for the green flag. They come around and get the white flag, which means one more lap to go. Once they do reach that white flag, any next flag would make the race official. If we get halfway through any of those green white checkers, that would be it. But we had some really good racing action so far tonight, so we'll see how this ends up. I think we have a lot of cars, especially this top 10, who we've seen pace from all evening, that still have a chance to come home with this thing. So it's not over yet. See what the aggression looks like on this restart. It's kind of going to be the test to see how this one's going to shake out. 2 car will have the field in his hands. Pace car is going to dive back to the safety of pit road. We'll have 15 laps left to go. Inside line gets off to an incredible start. That's going to give Ben Park clear possession of position number 2 and is going to push Dylan Godinez back to position number 3. The Thunders do turn 1 and 2. Daniel Park there on the bottom, giving Dylan a little bit of pressure here for 3rd. A little bit of late pace in that 7 car. He's been kind of just buying us time in the back so far this season. A couple guys we'll keep our eye on that are further back that have a lot of pace. Bodler in the 19, Landon in the 62. They're going to be trying to make their way back up here in a hurry with only 14 laps left. See it in front of you, the battle for the lead is on. Ben Park, oh, Ben Park loose off the corner, stays in it. Still side by side as we enter turn 3. Tale of 2 lines is what you're seeing here. 17's going to get a really good run off the corner. He's going to have more momentum going down the straightaway than the 2, but the 2 obviously taking the shorter distance is going to help him. And with so few laps to go, you know, if you were thinking anything about tire conservation, that is now out there. You're just going to run whatever your car feels fastest doing. Whichever line you think is going to get you around the track the fastest. And also try to avoid calamity, of course, at all costs. But Ben Park looks like he's going to have clear possession of the lead off of turn 4. Not quite. The 2 battles back down the inside. Still going to have his nose there. Ben's going to have him clear, maybe getting into 1. Not quite. Great battle up front here. 2 veterans that have raced in Speed Racing Network at some point for years between both of them, putting on a nice show here towards the conclusion of this event. Nice tight racing. And we'll see, you know, what develops here, because these 2 stay side by side. You got that little train of cars behind them. They're going to catch up to them and then have nowhere to go. And that's kind of what would stack everybody up. And that's when things start to get a little wild. We'll see if these 2 can sort it out here in some form or fashion. Dylan Godinez, Dan Park, Jesse Calloway, Connor Cunningham all sitting back there watching. As Ben Park now is clear to the front. He has the lead with 10 laps left. And I don't think this 2 car is going to leave him alone. I think these 2 are going to stay pretty stacked up, battling hard. So I'm really watching, you know, 3rd, 4th, 5th place to see, okay, can they get some separation and then really start to make some time here on these top 2. See how it shakes out. I really like what Ben's doing though. He's committing to that middle line. He's getting a good run off the corner. So if they have to drag race to the line, I like the chances of that 17 to get it done. Because he's definitely going to try to squeeze that 2 more and more and more as we get towards the end of this event. On board here with the 2, you see he's really trying to sail it into the corner deep. And maybe have a chance of clearing that 17. But when you drive it in the corner that deep, that's really hard on those tires. You kind of heard it there as he got to the corner. 17 up a little bit higher this time. That's really going to give the 2 a good angle on corner exit. And now you see what I was talking about just a second ago. The 8 and the 7 here are coming right back into play. But the issue they have now is they're battling for position, and that's just not going to help them advance. So we'll see if they can get it sorted out and we can really start making a charge here at the front. Also see a little bit further back there, the 4, Jesse Calloway. He's now made himself into the picture. He's up 16 spots up to the 6th position from where he started this event. 17, Ben Park just getting a little bit of position there to the right rear quarter of the 2. He's going to use that side force to drag him back on the straightaway when he can. You got to be careful though. We saw earlier what happens with those cars getting stuck together, and that's a very similar contact when you're trying to do a little bit of side drafting. But then you also got to think about the cars behind him. You know, his brother's right there. Is he going to help give him a push? Maybe. We'll see how the brothers play nice here. The top 5 now kind of single filed out, and I think it's going to come down to these top 5 with 5 laps left to go. 6 laps left to go, sorry. Hughes running a really nice line here on the bottom, kind of keeping it together. I think what Ben's going to try to do at some point is either really kind of hit him down, get to his outside, but get close, or use that run on the high side to develop a really nice corner exit and maybe try to get underneath the 2 and get him out of a line he's comfortable with. But now he's got the issue of Dylan Godinez saying, whoa, 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 I know you two have been battling, but now it's my turn to get up here in the action. And we saw him pull way away from the leaders earlier, so we know he's got the pace. And he's going to clear Ben for 2nd. And Ben got really loose off the corner. And that's going to bring the caution out. I think he eventually went around. Connor Cunningham has big damage. So we have a caution here with 5 laps to go. Ben Park registered some damage there as well. I don't see anything big on that machine. Ben Park obviously was a big part of that. We'll ride with him here. You see Dylan clear. Ooh. I don't think that had anything to do with Dylan clearing or Ben hitting the wall. That was definitely from behind. He had some help. The help would have been from the 32. Oh, what a hit. Oh my goodness. Connor Cunningham in the 32. We'll see it for sure here. Yep, friendly fire. You see the second Park brother back there. Got a little bit of damage from getting in the back of the 32, but I think he's going to be just fine. But yeah, it's a real clear picture right here. Try to slow it down for you a little bit. Try to get a good angle on this thing. Coming off the corner, I don't think Ben got the outside wall. He was already sideways, and then, well, the 32 kind of just finished that ordeal off, unfortunately. And Connor's going to go for one heck of a ride here. My goodness. This is when we're glad it's a simulation. And this is actually going to come back up the track and get the 52. Dale Rapp, and he takes a massive hit as well. Wow. Well, we got to do it. We got to ride on board here with 32. And just get a sense of how bad this hit was. Nothing you can do, really. We'll kind of get an idea of what that looked like for Dale Rapp. He just had nowhere to go right here. Yeah. Nothing you can do. Still has a power to that machine, so I think he might be able to continue, but we already know he took his fast repair, so that the thing's going to be not the ideal. Oh, not the ideal situation. Get to the end and even a little bit worse for him there. Well, back up front, we've been watching all that chaos ensue. We got kind of explain what's happened here. So, a couple cars came down pit road there. It was a little bit further back in the field. So, from what I can see on my monitor, the top 5 stayed out there. And the rest of the field came down the pit lane. So, I don't know who had a set of tires left. I'm definitely sure the 17 of Ben Park came down to use that fast repair. Because because he's got a nice fresh race car, and he didn't lose that much time. So he didn't spend time getting some repairs. That one was just an insta-fix for him. The 52 Dale Rapp, the 32 Connor Cunningham, the two big hits we saw in that last caution, they do remain on the pit lane and probably going to end their night. Daniel Butler set some extended time on pit road that last time by. But that car looks in pretty good shape. I don't see any obvious signs of damage. So we saw him spin earlier, but maybe he had that little extra set of tires there in the pits. Came to get him right there. We'll kind of see how that shakes out. So in reality, we have 12 cars still on the racetrack that are in competing shape. We have 2 that remain in the pits, and the rest of the drivers have decided to call it a night. So while we have the chance, let's talk a little bit about Speed Racing Network and Season 7 and all the stuff we're talking about. Well, there it is. There's your schedule for both series we run. The truck there on your left is Tuesday nights. The Xfinity there on your right is Wednesday nights. Our full schedule, times there up at the top. It's a $10 weekly entry. The champion at the end of the season gets $500 large, and there's thousands of dollars in additional prize money paid out throughout the races and the championship standings at the end of the year. So chance to earn weekly money and season-long money, and other just various bonuses and fun awards and stuff like that. If you're interested in being a part of any of this, the information that's scrolling across the bottom of your screen is going to be important to you. The best thing tell you is to visit speedracingnetwork.com. It's going to have all the information you need, including the link to our general Discord server, which is the best place to be to stay up to date for the latest information, any changes, and a full copy of the Speed Racing Network rulebook. You can also find that on the website as well. And then the registration form is open, and that is a tab on the website too. So if you're already ready to sign up, just go right there. Get that taken care of, and we'll see you on the track here when we fire off for our qualifying races the first week of September. But we got unfinished business here, and Michael Art's not done. He's going to have the field in his hands. Green, white checker, on your way. Really good start there. He's cleared by quite a few car lengths. And the battle's behind him. Dan Park is spinning on the apron. And then we have another one. Oh, big hit. For Drydesdale in the 34. He was up in the air at one point. Jane Henry's that initial car that we saw go around Ben Park. You see they're crawling along the bottom. We got another incident here to kind of sort out. So we saw it start here with the 7. What happens here? Well, the 7 gets in the back of Jaden and the 27, it looks like, and that just clogs everybody up. You might check the aggression level obviously turned way up, and Ben gets into the 27, and wow, the 89 and the 34 get some time in the air, and Bodler gets some significant damage as well. Unfortunate product that you see in these open lobby races. You don't love to see the calamity, and well, I think those cars were stuck together there for a moment. But that's just part of it. A lot of drivers will come down and get pit road here and see what they can get fixed. The best news for our leader is, well, he is obviously out of all that, and is one of probably maybe the cleanest car still on the racetrack. And Park in a heavy level of involvement there, and his race was going great until just recently. Involved in a couple incidents. You see it right here. Everything stacks up, and then just huge hits there on the outside. Car doesn't look terrible, but I think that's going to take him out of contention to win. I only see 4 cars currently on the racetrack that are in race shape, and it's our top 4 here that you see on your screen. Dean Gagliano's up to 2nd. We talked about him avoiding that wreck earlier. Well, he managed to avoid that one as well, and is clean in that 2nd spot. Dylan Godina is there in 3rd. Also clean car. showed a lot of pace when he led those laps, so I think he's still a force in this one if he can get the right run. A little bit of damage there on the right rear, but I think that'll be okay. And then one of our early leaders, Landon here in the 62. Still has a shot. See 27 go behind there on the outside. That he clearly had a faster pair left because that was a brand new looking race car, and he's going to get back on the lead lap 2. He might still have something for this one. Austin DeLong there in 5th. We saw him involved in that last incident. Believed he still had his faster pair left, so that's a fresh race car. And Park had his faster pair left, so that's still a fresh race car. 34 had his faster pair left, so he's got a nice ride, and so did the 81, so I stand corrected. We got 8 cars here still in race shape and in contention to win this race. The 27 does get the lucky dog. He'll be back on the lead lap. That'll leave us 9 cars on the lead lap. And I would say 9 cars still in race winning shape. Just putting the information back on the screen one more time for you about what really all of this is about, and it's about this, Speed Racing Network Season 7. There's your schedule for both series, some of your details in the middle. If you want any more information, visit speedracingnetwork.com. The full rule book is on there, the history of Speed Racing Network, your leadership team, registration form, all of our partners. Everything is available on that website. If you still have questions, you can reach out via the contact page there or an admin in our Discord server, and we'll get you taken care of. We'll get you set up. Just to update some of our watchers and maybe people that have been kind of eyeing joining Speed Racing Network for Season 7. We still have availability in both series. There are 3 team slots available in both series. So if you want to bring a whole team with you, there are 3 slots for that in each series. There are 1 or 2 teams also in each series that have openings if you want to join an existing team. If you want to be an independent driver, that's cool too. There's spots available for you on that. If you are interested in joining the truck series, though, I would always say sooner rather than later on the registration, because that series always fills up in a hurry, and we want to guarantee that you have a full-time spot. If you're interested in joining, get in touch with us. We'll get you taken care of and where you need to go. So, green-white checker attempt number 2 on your way. And it looks like it's going to just be a 9-car shootout here. About a third of the field remaining. We'll see who wins this event and comes home with that free entry for this upcoming season. Green flag is out. Great jump by the number 2 car. The battle's going to be for second. And this might be the battle for who can contest for the lead. Dylan Godinez is going to clear to second. See what he can do. Everybody else is going to need probably a little bit more help. Just such limited time remaining. Come back here. Once we cross the line, this race will be official. And we're not done. We're not done. Austin DeLong has gone around. Looks like the 34 of Drydesdale also involved, and that's terminal for that 89. You see that thing smoking heavily. Which is unfortunate. Oh, good runs out of these DG boys tonight. That's not going to help. Let's see if we can figure out what happened here. 34 gets in the 89. Oh, 62 almost gets clear and gets caught up in that as well. And what a comeback there by the 62 just to get caught up in another mess. Getting parked there, the 7 car does a fantastic job. What is that 27 machine? Jaden Henry does a really good job avoiding really bad damage. There's also a low contact here between the leaders. Right as that caution is coming out, you see it there on the bottom. Right there. Ooh. Almost a moment. You'll see a really good view of it right here, coming off the corner for our leaders. Ooh. That could have been bad. Luckily, they avoid the hook into the wall situation that we've seen earlier. And they'll both continue to fight through another one of these green-white checkers. One more look here at this wreck here. 7 does such a great job right there, and the 27 right there too, just getting by both those guys. I think that's going to end the night here for the 89 and the 34, who at different points in the race we saw good pace, but having good pace is only half the battle. You got to get to the end of these things. Sometimes they're of your own doing, and sometimes they're not. That's just how racing works. But back up front, I think the 2 car's been enjoying what's happened so far because, well, he's had a lot of just the pace car in front of him, which means he's leading the event, which is a good thing. If I'm correct, I believe this would be the last green white checker attempt anyway, so this will be the last attempt to restart this event, which means after we take the green here, we will have a conclusion and find a winner. In case you're wondering what the winner receives, they receive a free weekly entry, which is a $10 prize, to whichever series they're actively registered for. If they're not already registered, they do have to register to redeem that, which we ask them to promptly do post-race. They can continue to earn free entries through our recruitment races. In case you're wondering, hey, I missed this recruitment race. Can I get in some more? Yes, 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 you can. We have a couple more coming up. I'll go ahead and give you those dates and what they are. You can kind of keep that in the back of your mind. Next Tuesday, August 20th, we have our trucks over at Auto Club for 40 laps. And then the next day, the 21st, on that Wednesday, we have the Xfinity cars at Auto Club for 40 laps. The week after that, August 27th, that Tuesday, we take the trucks to Dover for 80 laps. And then August 28th, we take the Xfinity cars out to Dover for 80 laps. And those will be the last 4 recruitment races of the off-season because, well, the week after that, we have our Daytona qualifying races. We start season 7. So we're getting right down to it. Want to join, make sure you start getting things set up as soon as possible, and we can help you do that here if you have questions. Oh, we're going to get this restarted here with, well, 6 cars, really, left in this event. And this should be the final chance we get it restarting this event. Green flag will be out. We'll have a green-white checker. A great jump from the 2, but now the 18 is the one that's cleared a second. We'll see what he can do with that second place. Dylan now battling with Dan Park there for 3rd. Really tight racing. We're going to have a 3-way battle for 2nd, and Michael loves what he's seeing about this. Oh, contact. And Park moves the 89 up to the track. Coming back to the line, Michael Larkin is going to win recruitment race number 8. Las Vegas. Dan Park comes back for 2nd place. Dean Gagliano in 3rd. Dylan Godinez 4th. And Elke in 5th. So real quick, we'll give you those race results that you've waited all night for. 23 of these cars started the race, and only 6 unfortunately ended up crossing the line there at the end, but here are your results. This evening. And beyond that, there it is for you. Again, only 23 started the event. So one more time before we head off this evening. Here is your information for Speed Racing Network Season 7. If you want to get in touch with any of us about getting you or your team set up in our upcoming season, or maybe just explaining a little bit more how the league works, get in touch with us, and we will help you get in the right place. So on behalf of myself, Jonathan Byer, the president of Speed Racing Network, I'd like to thank you for joining me this evening here in this solo effort in the booth. We look forward to seeing you in the future. We have 2 more recruitment races coming up next week with our Auto Club events, so if you're interested in joining, please show up to those events and get a little bit taste of the racing and meet some of the drivers. But if you're ready to register, that's open too. One more time, if you need any information, speedracingnetwork.com is your place to go. We look forward to seeing you next week.